Hi everyone, checking in for your astrotherapy update. So we start this week with Cancerian energies at play. The moon's in Cancer. We still have Jupiter in Cancer as well. And so with that being said, that's an energy of reviewing your childhood, your home life, your private space. And it's a really big opportunity, I think, to identify what I like to call core belief systems. And it's a good time for reviewing core belief systems and understanding what is serving you and then what is maybe hindering you. And so Tuesday through Wednesday, Thursday timeframe, we've got a lot going on with the Leo archetype because we have the sun finishing up in Leo, we have Mercury in Leo, and then the sun is working with Chiron in Aries. So this is really important because Chiron is about our sacred wounds. So this is about either what wounds we might carry or that we reflection on what we have healed, right? The sun is illuminating. It brings a little perspective and vitality towards the essence of what we're healing with that Chiron and Aries space. So that's all about self-worth, self-esteem, self-sovereignty. And with Leo being here and coming from the roots of your Cancerian core beliefs, the message is really, what do you feel that your inner child wounds are that were created from your core beliefs and primitive experiences in childhood? And I think that there's a space in working with this Chiron energy to alchemize those experiences and understand, okay, maybe my inner child is experiencing some fear around whatever given topic. Am I going to let that fear stop me from doing the thing? And those are the Aries archetypes that we have showing up. Aries in Saturn and Aries in Neptune and Chiron. It's saying, I understand that I might be afraid, but even though I am afraid, I still hold the capacity for enough courage to be brave and put myself out there and do this because I know I have to do this for me. So big message on reflection into self-expression and then self-assertion. And so with that being said, when we talk about the shifts that are happening right now, we still have a lot of planets in retrograde. This is a big time for reassessments. It's a big time where things are shifting and things are changing. So with that being said, the remaining octaves of Leo, it is a fire sign. And it can bring up some, what I would call maybe anger or rage. And it's okay, right, if that exists. Because the way that I look at it is when we experience, experiences that might create an emotional response, one of those might be anger, are catalysts to start a shift and make a change. Well, change leads to uncertainty and something new. Our brains are wired to take in uncertainty as a threat. And so biologically then our nervous system is going to go, what's going on here? And so the Aries energy, especially that Saturn archetype, which is the responsible structure builder, it's saying it's okay to be scared, but you have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself here. And so can you look at emotions that might be coming up around this time and see what story are they trying to tell you? What unmet need is sitting behind the emotion that's coming up? And can you use that as a compass? So once you've filtered and reflected through that, on Friday, the sun moves into Virgo. And then on Saturday, we have a new moon in Virgo. So with that being said, Virgo is the archetype of the refiner, the editor. Virgo is also of service. It is purity. And so there's some space here to say, where have I been? What do I believe? What do I want? And now how do I go about that most efficiently? Where this new moon sits in your chart is going to determine a good area of focus for that refinement. Where are you creating structure? Where are you putting in organization? Where do you need to maybe use more discernment? So there's a big difference between discernment and then feeling like you have this obligation of perfection. Now, keep in mind, as the sun travels through Virgo, our south node is in Virgo. So that's releasing those octaves of perfection, of self-judgment. And the north node, which will be its opposite end of the spectrum, is in Pisces. So releasing that comes through the balancing energies of compassion and radical self-acceptance. If you have significant points or placements, planets in the signs of Gemini or Sagittarius, no, those will be making a square. So it could feel a little tense during this Virgo season. And so sometimes, figuring out how to how to understand how to use those to work together can be helpful. So I like to think of Virgo as the energy of like the mouse animal totem. It's small, it's focused on the details, it's working day to day to build its cozy little nest and get what it feels like it needs. And then we have, so it's mutable earth energy, right? It's grounded here in the 3D. Gemini is mutable air, which is the essence of the communicator. It's the hummingbird. It's flitting from flower to flower. It's getting the nectar of information from, all over. And it's fast moving. So when you think about that too, Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury. Really important to understand that Mercury is quick moving. And these energies can sometimes get overwhelmed, right? Because Gemini is taking in a lot of information and Virgo is trying to figure out, how do I use this practically? So be cognizant, about what information are you taking in? What are you working on refining? Can you make a priority list to maybe work on one or two things at a time so you're not overwhelming your system? And then the other energies that will pop into the square are going to be the energies of Sagittarius, which is mutable fire. Fire is expansive, right? It's kinetic. So that is the energy of the hawk archetype. Sagittarius sees things from the higher perspective. The hawk can go wherever it wants. It's like, it's big enough to where it's like we don't have many things to worry about. And that really is the Sagittarius energy. It's looking at the bigger picture and saying, okay, cool, I think this is the destination, but I might happen to fly over here and that'll be great too. I have trust that it's all going to work out. So it's the bigger picture energy that doesn't really care about the details of how it's going to get to where it's going. These are important things to understand as we navigate through Virgo season. If you do feel pressure between those archetypes and totems, right, and the things that they represent. New moons are seeds of intention. I will be hosting a new moon class for my cosmic Restore and Meditation on Wednesday at 4:30 at Kodawari. We'll have some oracle cards there and discuss all of this more in depth, so I hope to see you guys there.